Okay, we got this, we got this, we got this, and this. Live video starting here, Gewaldig. All right. And we are very live. Live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and live in real life, too. Isn't that wonderful? Here we go. Daf Lamed Aleph and Aleph. We are behind because, Friday and virtual Daf Yomi Shabbos don't go together very well. Zaymer Shel Avoisai. Zaymer Shel Avoisai. Two people over here, each of them claiming a field. Except the Bach adds something. Zaymer, one guy says, Shel Avoisai, it belongs to my ancestors. Va'achaltish nechazaka, and I ate it for 3 years. Zaymer Shel Avoisai, and the other guy says, it's my ancestral thing. Okay. Hi, the second guy, I think. Hi, Sadi Davase. He one brings witnesses that it was his father's. The other one has witnesses that he ate it for years of chazaka. But if you put all the testimony together, it comes out that he ate it for 3 years of chazaka, but it wasn't his, and never claims to have bought it from the other guy's fathers. So that doesn't work. But Rabba says, but why would that guy lie? The guy who has witnesses about chazaka. If he wants, he could say, I bought it from you. He could have said, I bought it from you, and I ate it for 3 years. So, and he would have won had he said that. So, just because now he didn't say that, and instead he said, it belongs to my father, why don't we believe him? Well, we're not going to believe him. Well, Abaye said, Mali l'shakar mokim edim lo yamrinon. You can't say that against testimony. If the guy was never claiming that it belonged to the other guy's father, but he bought it, you can't say, but believe me, because if I wanted to lie, I could have done this. Yeah, but we still can't believe you because it's not that way. This is a story. It's not a theoretical case. Amar Rab Mali l'shakar zemachzik ma'itayin shel aveisav yarshamei bayamar vilkach by migu mehamdinan lay. Yes, amigo. I don't think the word Gemara actually says the word migu here, but it's amigo. Migu is really migai. Mitaycha eish. The targum is migai eshasa. Means mitaych sheyachol itain. Amar leitamidei abai mali l'shakar chulei klemra idei hai migu d'mali l'shakar le'yizke b'karka shreyedem akishmes tvarav. Witnesses contradict his words. It is chazaka she'ena matayna. Well, what's the taina? The taina is something which has been disproven. So the guy who got a shtickle busted, the guy who said it belonged to his fathers, then said, yeah, it's true. It used to belong to your fathers. And I bought it from them. And that which I said to you, and that which I said it belongs to my fathers. What I meant was samech li Allah kid'avahasi. It was so mine because I bought it that it's like it was ancestral. He was losing the field. Interesting. Rashbam is building up a case that this is a story that actually happened, and we're talking about what happened in real time. Allah. You see, so I bought it from your fathers. I had a chazaka. No one complained. So I meant it was ki'ilu ancestral. Kiviyachol. Ubai Talmuda, and the Gemara wants to know, can you switch your story? Can you modify your claim? And I'm saying this specifically because I'm not sure that the Gemara is entertaining the possibility of completely contradicting the original claim. But here, he's modifying it. The Bach is making a mishmash out of these Rashbams. It's devar very shiny. I'm not sure exactly what the Rashbam is doing. I'm just going to read the Rashbam's Kasedron. Ula Amar Time V'chaz V'tayin Time V'best Mashu writes V'chaz Again. Even though it's a slight contradiction. So, Ula Amar, Ula says about this, you could do it, but Nehardai Amri, the judges of Neharda'a say, you can't do that. Even Ula agrees. If the guy is not modifying his original claim, but he's going against it. Had the original claim been, it was my father's and not your father's, then you can't say, oh, hey, it was your father's, but I meant it was my father's, meaning it's like so mine, it's like ancestral. No, that's too extreme. And another thing that Ula agrees, and if the guy didn't modify his words during the actual trial, and then he like comes back later like, no, it's my field. When I said it was my father's, I meant it was like it. Yeah. My time say agmirai. What is Isahada doing with this? Let's see what the Rashbam says. That this claim of his was taught to him by someone else, that he's not actually saying, here's what I really meant. He's saying, here's what I want to have really meant. And Nehardai, who said, nope, that's too much of a switch. When he switches from, it's my father's too. I bought it from you, but it was like mine, like it was my father's. Nehardai, who said, that's no good, would agree if he didn't say it as extreme. Had he said, it was my father's who bought it from your father's, he can switch it to saying I bought it from. Oh, it's not the original claim, it's the modified claim. It's my father's. No, it's my father's, and I ate it for years of chazaka. then we bring proof that it belonged to the other guy. Oh, okay. I said it was my father's because my father bought it from your father. Oh, so that is not at all contradicting the original claim. sagt Rashbam, moiden Ardoi bezet mit Khila shel Avais und Khazvetan shel Avais shel Khum ya Avais sach und Khazvetan mehem den eket war shanim klal ela mais vale em kemen der khzik bashal shanim min Allah biyad the khazaka sheyesh imataina he the khazaka is not contradicted the malo ila shaker the ibay amar min khazvan the khad shel khazaki gomen am shel Avais shel Khum ya Avais sach mehem va gad gabi yesh kemen kam perken in tachtaina ma khazak bashal shanim he khais shel Aviv Avoraya by Shechzik Bavi Mechad. Hachin Zach Levi Edim Shechzik Bavi Klaus is a taunt and the Gemur of Achazaka Shishimotaina. So by someone who's inheriting something, you're still going to need evidence his father was there for a day. Here you're not going to need that because the Yerush doesn't have a taina. This guy has a taina. The response Bavar. Umaydi vehechad ishtoi mili avroi. Lebestin. Vilay ton vas lebetin beton to chayzer. Vitayan. And if he had said other things outside the framework of this case, he can, in court, switch to a new taina because he was saving it for the trial. Even though he's completely contradicting what he was saying outside before the case started, that's fine. My time of it initially Magali Tanase Ella Lebedina. It's normal to not reveal, not to show his cards until the actual trial's going. Because he doesn't want his opponent to have time to prepare a response. The Rashbam says, and that this din we just said is the Taina Ba'alma. He said something randomly. Avaton beferish if they aid them chutz the best in chayev ani manula play near best in. Had he specifically said in front of witnesses, I owe him $100. Well, that's not something you can deny. The point is, if he was just saying, this guy's taking me to court and really this, that, I don't know anything, or whatever it is, but not if he did a full declaration. Omar Ameimar. Oh, that's funny. So we had said before that Nehardoi, the rabbis of Nehardoa say, Einay Tain B'chazvatain. Omar Ameimar pops in and says, Ana Nehardoa Ana. Don't paint all of us Nehardians with the same brush. I happen to be a Nehardian who's fairly the Tain B'chazvatain, and I think that you could go and do this semi-retraction clarification. The Hilchas of the Gemara Paskins Tain B'chazvatain, that you can do that. It's really the Chazvatain claimer. No, Nami Nardoi, no, Bligna, Live the Nardoi. Look, the Chazvatain take a Lashon Arishon of Ishmak Hishim Tzas, of an Oik and the Gamri Kiddle. New story. Zeh, Mishal Avaisai, Vachadish Chazaka, Mishal Avaisai, Vachadish Chazaka. Two people, each of them with the identical claim. It was my father's, and also I ate it for 3 years. Omar and then what happened? They brought witnesses. So one guy brings witnesses that it was his father's, and he ate it for years of chazaka. And the other guy brings witnesses that he ate it for years of chazaka. Amar Rav Nachman said, so the two eating chazaka things contradict. Boring. So all you're left with is the testimony was his father's, so he wins. So Rashi is I mean, they're both talking about the same 3 years. So Amar Rav Nachman, it is Tachila Batla. The testimony about eating is gone, negated. Toki Eda Shalachila, Kaneged Eda Shni Shalachila, very Makrishim says, Alphabet Stav Hasalay Delays Kachish, Edus and Kayemet Mukminan Biyade. So it was a single set of Edom that said he ate it for 3 years, and it was his father's. And you have another set of Edom that's saying, no, the other guy ate it for those 3 years. So Rav Nachman said, just cancel out the part that cancels out and leave it with his father's. But Rava says, Rava says you can't do that because the testimony itself is destroyed, all of it. There is contradiction here. One of these sets of witnesses is lying because one of them is saying that this guy ate it for 3 years uninterrupted, undisturbed. The other one is saying the other guy did it. So one of them is completely lying and busted. So how can we rely on either one? We don't know what's going on. Omar Leir of Nachman said back, he diskachish b'achilasa. Okay, you have a contradiction about eating, but Baba Hasam mi eskachish. Is there a contradiction about whose father it was? No, because we only have one group that was testifying about whose father it belonged to, so Rashban. But the Gemara is like, wait a minute, does that mean that Rav of Rav Nachman does that mean that Rav and Rav Nachman are arguing the same old machlekes Rav Huna and Rav Chisda? The itmar beis kitei edim amakrishay zu ezo. You have two sets of witnesses that are testifying things that are mutually exclusive. And now there's a dark shadow over both of them, but we don't know which one of them is lying. Rav Huna says, okay, but we know that between them someone's lying, but we don't know which one it is, so I think we keep people in the cheskes kashrus. I don't want to... but you can testify about other things separately. With witnesses like these that are lying, why do I want these? Zog the Rashbam, Makisha Zayasai be'edus achas kegain, Sheidu Shnayim na Plani, Love Amileni Manu, Stamachem Hikrishim Amule, Love Amimenu Klom, Shebisayim, Shatim Lemrim, Slavimenu, Imanu, Alayvek, Lesaya, and they love Amishim Adam Klom. Right? One set of witnesses says, on Friday, Jim borrowed money from Fred, and the other Edom are saying, we were with him the whole Friday, and nothing happened. That's not a hazama, because they're not testifying on the other witnesses, they're testifying about the guy. So Rav Huna says, Aval you cannot have one guy from the original set of Edom and another guy from the second set joining together for something, because definitely one of them is bad, lying. However, Rav Chisda wow, they're both doomed in terms of not being reliable. Because if they're testifying that a loan happened, well, keep the money where it is, because maybe they're psulim. So now the Gemara wants to know, Lemer of Nachman over here, who says, just let the parts that don't work together cancel out and take what's left. The Amar Rav Huna, like it's going like Rav Huna, that misafek, we can still be makabel them for another eidos. For Rava Rav Chisda and Rava, who says you can't do that because the testimony is all contradicted. It sounds like Rav Chisda, who's saying that the Edom are no good forever. So that the Rashbam Rav Nachman shemachsher edus dava so sheidu edem mukhoshim then edus acher shechshuba Rav Huna shechshir edus acher shlei hook cheshuba. Okay, so Gemara says no, like Aliba de Rav Chisda kuyamalei pligi. Rav Chisda said some of these witnesses are lying, no good. Why? Sagt der Rashba, mal über Rav Chisda gam le pligi le makal echad anos vir Rav Chisda, devad Rav Nachman litzvir le. It's kind of backwards, the phrasing. Meaning everyone, there's no doubt about it that Rav Nachman is incompatible with Rav Chisda. Chisda said there's lies here, they're both out, so yeah. Rav Chisda so keep pligi. So the machlekes Rav Nachman and Rava is going to be aliba de Rav Huna. It's going to be according to Rav Huna, who says that each set of witnesses is believed by itself. Rav Nachman ke Rav Huna. Rav Nachman, who said at least take the part of the edus that didn't get canceled out. Ke Rav Huna, he'll say like Rav Huna that they're believed for a different testimony. V'Rava amar lach with the bachad kamek amar Rav Huna hasam elo leedus acheres avle seedus lie. When did Rav Huna say that you can believe each set separately? For something else, but here it was one big testimony about father parental ownership and Sheikh Hazaka, and for that, even Rav Huna would agree that that testimony is out. And the guy lost the field. Then the guy brought witnesses that it indeed was belonging to his father. So now it's no longer that the other guy should have been given it. Rav Nachman says truth trumps perceived moral superiority. Anan achsine, we took him out of the field. Anan maskinan, we'll bring him back to have a fair fight over it. And we are not going to be concerned about how that makes the court look bad. And I'm maskinan like lemerlenachzik as I is mizel ve'edish neim shave. Lucy the bedina shemilag legor brios abestin ashasoshenes dineim v'dami lechecha ve'itlula. Mesiv Rava v'tema Rabbi Zera. Rava, or maybe Rabbi Zeira. Rava Rabbi Zeira asks Akasha on that which Rav Nachman said that we are going to retract what we did. Two people are testifying the husband died. And two say he didn't. Zok the Rashbam context. A woman's husband traveled far off and was never heard of again. Two witnesses say he died. Two other witnesses, no, he didn't. We have a contradiction in whether she was married or not when at the time her husband died, and therefore does she need gibom or chalitza? Inami kegain shadain by lakayam. Or maybe just they're saying that she got divorced in terms of her husband's alive. The question is, can she marry someone else? She has a chazak of Isser Ish, and the two witnesses are going to cancel out. So again, this is the kasha of Ravar, maybe Rabbi Zeira, two witnesses say he died, two say he didn't. Two say she was divorced, two say she wasn't. Sina say she shouldn't remarry. And if she remarried, though, say she shouldn't leave that marriage. Mrs. Do you have it in the Chadchila? Oh, the Rashbam says, we ask on this out in sounds like subas. Michdi, train to know if it's a contradiction of 2 verse 2. Isn't that itself going to be a suffix that is forbidden to an outsider? Rav Sheshes says, yeah, she couldn't marry an outsider, but she could marry one of those 2 witnesses. What about herself? We will trust her to say that she accepts their edus. Rabbi Menachem, Rabbi Menachem, son of Rabbi Yosei, says no. Even if she remarried, she should leave that marriage. When am I saying that even with the evidence she got remarried, she should leave the marriage? That's when she got married after there was already a contradiction in full force. But if witnesses came and said her husband died, then she remarried, and then other witnesses came and said he didn't die, she can stay. This is she'ilu shalab mi best in the way to loli nase. Avul Mrs. Alpi Ede Miso she tidru best in linase v'achach bo edim shu kayim leteitze dechashinun zusu beidina v'kosher of Nachman. So the kashan of Nachman is we see that we are concerned about their best interpretation, and we're not just going to retract things. Amar Lay Rav Nachman said, "Whoa, I'm not sorry. I was about to act on what I thought. The Mavarovda, the Machtinan Lay, Maskinan Lay, Vanecha Jesus the Beidina, but Hashta de Sivtan At. Now that you have asked that good question, and also Va'isvan Rav Hamnuna Besurya, and Rav Hamnuna in Surya also asked me this question of Hunami Surah. We're not going to do it. And she wouldn't be Bryce of and yet, Navak Avad Avda, and Nachman, after saying, yes, I agree, I won't do it, went ahead and did it. Navak Avad of Nachman Avda, the Bedina, that he let them have a fair fight over it. Man de Chaza. What if you saw this? Savar Tausi, it looked like he messed up. He was actually relying on mighty ropes or hanging from mega trees. Dusi biyavish and his karameach Bryce of the Levite, the Amar Layavdin Ba'ovda. The Taibashi Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel Kula, Sarvi Lu Telechashin and Susu the Beidin, Kvar Shavashi b'Maskana, that he has some good names to be Semechan. Ditnan, we have a Mishnah. Rabbi Yehuda, Imer, Ein Ma'il L'Kuna Piyeda Echad. You have one witness that says someone is a Kayin, not enough. And what would that mean? That he would be able to get Truma. Rashbam explains to man he says Kappa vented Dochin up Yedachar. I mean either shoot Kain Rabbi Eliezer lekame Rabbi Elazar lekame b'Shmaiten. Omer Rabbi Elazar Masai. Rabbi Elazar says, when is it that 1 8 is not enough? Bizman sheishalav Eirin, when there's an argument that he isn't. Av inalav Eirin. You could do it with one witness if there isn't any opposition that you're dealing with. Like Allah, Rabbi Elazar is saying this in Rabbi Yehuda. Just some random rumor. And then in this Mishnah, Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, Rabbi Shimon ben Askan, that you could do it based on one witness. And the Gemara asks, why are you saying that like a new opinion? Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, Rabbi Elazar. It sounds exactly like Rabbi Elazar, who says Malin. Okay. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, Rabbi Elazar, because the Gemara is assuming it can't be that there's an official opponent. Sounds that there are people testifying he's not a Kayin, then we wouldn't believe one. That maybe the machlekes is if there's one guy saying he's not a kohen. Now you have one guy saying he is a kohen. So Rabbi Elazar Savar that you would need one person against him, and then your one aid would not be ne'eman to is a kohen. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel Savar Rabbi Shimon Gamliel would say your one aid saying he's a kohen is enough to knock out one aid saying he isn't, but not two. This is the Havaminas at the Rashbam. Erechadik benayu v'adikani b'zman sheshlav and I know aid echad hapaisay makresh aid echad hamachshir, and that's what Rabbi Elazar won't go for. Rabbi Elazar savar echad havi irvein aid echad ne'eman olav lachshir. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel savar irtrei, but inav look echad havi aid echad ne'eman lachshir. Well, that can't be, because Rabbi Yochanan that error of one is one guy saying it's not a kohen is nothing. It's like a rumor. So it's got to be, if there's no error at all, then malin. If there is error of trey in malin, so what's the difference between Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Shimon Gamliel? Ella, rather, what we're going to have to say is irtrei. We have officially a chazaka. The guy's father was a kohen. And there was a rumor that he was ben grusha ben chalutz, and therefore he does not share in his father's kahuna. And we officially demoted him until we could clarify. But it's just a rumor. And one guy brought him back and he was reinstated. And then two guys said, no, he actually is not a kohen, and he goes down again. And then another guy comes saying he is a kohen. Now you can add that guy to the first original aid. And even though those two individuals came in separately saying he's a kohen, we can combine them. The machlekes says this whole up, down, is that a bizayin to the best, and therefore it's not okay. Rabbi Elazar would be saying that the Makayim Sheish Aaron, we can't do it, meaning there were two witnesses, and even though we ended up with two saying he's a kohen, but it's too much up and down. We brought him down, we'll bring him up. So about this, the Rashbam says, really, we didn't need to say all this. Pasas kaidem lein vaskine de makem kol avi edach mehem vaksine da ech makem time in drive klom vasay da ech de besaif amer de kein gomer of avulu shnai machshiren u de kuli alma bin Rabbi Elazar bin Shimon Gamliel mit zarf in edus am idem zeshle bifnei ze besar edes vachanami is not zarf min adin ed rishon vedach and machshiren v'nachshiren lezeim leim bifnei zilus bedin kem farish vazel. So we're saying right now, Rabbi Elazar says no because of bizayin to the best, and I'm Shimon Gamliel is not cheshish for that. Rabbi Elazar savar came and sine al be beisayrin over dinei ranud b'chamakim amin atarish nayim shalei liskilei al pi edachad. Zeh hasheni, we can't bring him up again. Alma b'shei tzarfim marishan lachshir elizedok yichel b'adi trevo ki gavra achazake de kashos kamaisa da machzak lambavu de kainu v'gam achsher nu tchila pi edachad kainish bo'erin. No, the Chashtin only solution the Beidina. Shall we do up here in Vachshav? Ya alo, Bivalu Divrei, and Vachigam Rabbi Elazar. I must say, Marlon up here Dachad. When are you not going to bring him back up? Ah. Whoa, he didn't say that. Oh, P8 echad. It must have been Sheish Iron. So ein Malin al P8 echad abba libesayt b'dan Sheish Iron Shnayim al Paislin I say Gochle Mahani 8 Shani abal b'sayf lachshir let's start from Marisha and a machshir Davagav Dikle Meimar Uki Trey Machshir Mahadi Trey Paislin Uki Gavra Chazak Evi Yekasha Avilachile Maskin and Lemishim Zilusa Debedina Vaidas Kume Karal Pied Echad Haba Lahashbis Es Hakar Lavzus Bedino Demaya Dach Signe Bishvil Kol Maila Baalma Huchelachzer Lalesi Achashiv Tikwa Dover Renu Helgaki other Maskile Lekazilusa Avakashar Nu Api Edimina Dinner Renu Vaki other Maski Ikazilusa. And Gamliel says, no, we'll bring him back up again. But I'm asking Levi Kasha trade. No. But my maskin Levi Avi Safek. Tritz okay about the Jevo Kmea Chazake Komaisa das Ku up Yed Risha and Shayanam on Darkati and Aaron the Kol of Aaron who Rashbam appeals to the Chazaka based on the original witness, even though he is the second witness. I mean, the Rashbam said before he didn't have a chazkas paslas before because the call is nothing. I'm not sure why the Rashbam is doing it this way. Okay. Maskif Rav Asher actually asked on this whole build up where Rabbi Elazar is choshish isn't. So what was the problem that he ended up having to be talking about? One, I feel betraying na me. There be a lot of Jesus bedina my area. Ida ball beside us. My mile mission to the Tani Mastis in the mile be a shall have Aaron. Hop is Naim. Mile and feel betray also by the dynamic bam schneel there be a lot of skin and lay. It says over there that if one guy is not going to bring him up when you already had two bringing him down. Okay, then that would imply that if there were two coming, it would work. But if those two are going against two witnesses, it wouldn't work. So there goes that whole binyan that we had built up. I don't think that there's any name associated with this pshat. Really, nobody would have a problem with the best in having to retract something. Neither Rabbi Elazar or Mishim ben Gamliel. The machlekes is about combining the edus of the first and the meaning you have one aid saying Kain, then two come in and say not Kain, then you have one at the end saying Kain. Can you combine the first and the last guy? And the comment says the witnesses have to be seen as one. Coming up, Alvin Bosch, Name Biyachad, Av Maskinalem, Makminam Leachazaki Kamaisan, Maxalam before the kind of Zilusalechashinam, Shimagam Karabin, son. So we're going to explain how this all works out, but the bottom line is Rashi saying that no one is cheshish for Zilus of the Beidina, not Shimagam Leal, not Rabbi Elazar, and that is the Ashli Rav over there of Nachman was Talui in. Rashbam also mentioned Rabbi Yehuda. Hope he'll come up soon because I don't think that we've heard of him yet. And Rabbi Yehuda says in Milin Lekuna Piedecha, and Rabbi Elazar is going in him. Okay, click. Okay. Tanakama says they all have to show up as one. Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha, even if one came in, the other one came in, so they're together, but they testified separately. They got a mamish testified zusammen. We don't actually need to get into the machlekes Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha and the Chachamim. We just brought the whole brisa in, says the Rashbam. It's machlekes about how close do they need to be. Rabbi Nassan Aimer, this is the Wamper. Sheimin Devar shall say Ayoy. We'll hear this guy today, and we'll hear what the other guy says tomorrow. Even if they come separately. And at Jewish name Ke'echad, and the comment says, oh, at Sheir. Oh, I read that totally wrong. So the first machlekes really does have nothing to do with this. Ad Sheir name Ke'echad, esa eidos lapuki echad emer b'fanei elvo v'echad emer b'fanei hodelei elov. That they both had to testify about the same thing. Not that one said I saw the loan, the other guy says I saw him admit that he had borrowed. And Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha says, I read it wrong. Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha, I'm going to read this price again. They have to both see it simultaneously. Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha says, no, even if they saw different things, but those add up to their testimony, period. New thing is, they have to testify as one. No. One guy can testify today, the other guy can testify tomorrow. Amon komisad divtan komisavar amon to masid I like a masid ha v'v'le legabi monachatzi edus v'tayim for a shaper person hedgin mikro misvara. That was the first part of the brisa, which we're not dealing with. And then there's Einus Miskayamis the couple of best of Avilu Rosh name Ke'echad Ashidush name Ke'echad b'fnei best and the plugta achriti hivla Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha Gomer Lar Rabbi Yeshua ben Gamliel the plugta Rabbi Nasan v'Rabbanan pligi Rabbi Nasan Ayim evertamai Yechulu evertamai Mefarish Hasam Shaper Mikro Misvara. Rashbam's like, we're not getting into where they're getting their things from. But we have Rabbi Nasan against the Chachamim. The Chachamim saying you have to testify as one. Rabbi Nasan says they don't. And we're saying that is the machlekes between Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. In our story where you have one saying he's kosher, then two saying he's not, and then another one saying he's kosher. Everyone agrees that if you could combine the edus of the first guy and the last guy, then we would undo what we did before, and we're not chayshish, and that's why Rav Nachman did what he did. Machlekes is that the testimony is separate. So Rabbi Elazar is going to say it's no good. He's going to be going like the Chachamim, and Rabbi Shimon Gamliel is saying no, it does work. He's going like Rabbi Nasan. Period. All right, that's great for today. We are getting there in terms of catching up. Shkayach, shkayach.